Morning students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. So, are you ready to study in today's class? So, yesterday we have started with our chapter number 1, large number. I hope you have done the revision and practice. Before going on to our next topic, let us quickly revise the chapter. So students, let's start. What we have studied was that the numbers that are beyond 9999 are considered as large numbers. 9999 is the greatest 4-digit number. When we add 1 to it, we get the smallest 5-digit number, that is 10,000, and when we move so on, we get the largest 5-digit number, that is 99,999. Similarly, if we add 1 to this greatest 5-digit number, we get the smallest 6-digit number, that is 1 lakh. And if we talk about the largest 6-digit number, it is 9,99,999. The next concept that we studied was the concept of face value and place value. Face value is the value of the digit itself. However, the place value is the product of face value and the place of the digit in a place value chart. However, you have to remember that a 0 digit always has a place value and face value 0. After that, we have done the concept of expanded form and short form. Writing a number as a sum of the place value of digits is called its expanded form, whereas the standard form or short form of a number is given by combining the face value of each digit at its correct place. After that, we have done the comparison of numbers. In the comparison of numbers, the first rule was that if two numbers have different number of digits, then the number with more digits is the greater number. However, if the number have same number of digits, we have to check from left to right, and the number with greater digit is the highest place, is the greatest number. The next concept was of ascending and descending order. As you already know, ascending means arranging the number from smaller to bigger, whereas the descending means arranging the number from bigger to smaller. After that, we have learned about the formation of number. To frame the greatest number, we write the given digits in descending order, and to form the smallest number, we write the digits in ascending order. If there is 0 among the digits, it takes the second place after the smallest digit. And the last concept that we have studied yesterday about the successor and predecessor. To find out the successor, we have to add 1 in the given number. It means successor, you can say that is a number that comes after a number, whereas if we talk about the predecessor means a number less than the given number. That means that the number just before the given number is its predecessor. So this was all about the revision that we have done already. Now today we are going to move to our next concepts. Okay, so the first topic for today is about the Indian and international systems of numeration. We follow the Indian system of numeration and use the Indian place value chart. Most countries outside India use the international system of numeration. Now just take a look at the difference between the Indian and international system of numeration. So if you look at the chart that I have made here, our Indian system comprises of different periods. Each period is divided among sub periods. The first period, if we start from ones, is comprises of three sub periods, that is ones, tens, hundred. The second period is of thousand periods, that comprises of thousands and 10,000. The third period comprises of lakhs, that comprises of lakh and 10 lakh, whereas the fourth period, that is for the higher digit numbers, this comprises of two sub periods, that is crores and 10 crores. Similarly, if we move to the international system of numeration, we just found that it comprises of three periods only, that is of ones, thousands and millions. Yes, in place of crores and lakh like that of Indian system, the international system just comprises of the period millions and thousands. If we talk about the ones period, it is divided into three sub periods, that is ones, tens and hundreds. Thousand period is divided into thousand, 10,000 and 100,000s, whereas the millions period comprises of three sub period, millions, 10 millions and 100 millions. So from this chart what we observe? We observe that the third period is of lakh period. The number of digits in it is 2. The second period is of thousand period. The number of digit is in 2. The last period, that is the ones period, is of 3 digits. However, in the international place value chart, the period number 3 is of millions period, that comprises the 3 digits. The second period is of thousand period, that again comprises of 3 digits, and the period number 1, that is the last one period, comprises of again 3 number of digits. So if we differentiate between the Indian system and international system, we just found that the ones period has 3 places, the thousand and lakhs have 2 each, whereas in the international system all periods have 3 places. The names of the places in ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, lakhs and so on, whereas the names of places are in international system as ones, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions and so on. But now the question arises that how can you read? For this, the answer is while reading a numeral, all the digits in the same periods are read together and the name of the period is read together. Let's take an example. In the first example, I have taken the digit as 5, 4, 3, 2, 6, 3. So how can you read the digits in Indian place value system? In Indian place value system, we can read the digits as 5,43,263. However, in the international place value system, we just read the digits as 543,263. Similarly, let's take another example. In this example, I have taken a bigger number which comprises of the digits 6, 3, 8, 4, 2, 9, 1. So in Indian place value system, we can read the digits as 63,84,291. However, in the international place value system, we can read the digit as 6,384,291. So I think the concept of Indian and international place value system is clear to you now. Okay, now let's move on to our next topic. Next topic name is rounding of numbers. I think all of you have studied the rounding of numbers in previous classes. The first question arises is, what is rounding of numbers? Rounding off means making a number simpler but keeping its value close to what it was. It means that we just take the approximate value of the number to make it simpler. However, the result is less accurate, but the number will become very easier to you. Round off is simple and it can be done in 3 different ways. Like we can round off the number to its nearest tens place or nearest 100 place or nearest 1000 place. Let us take a look one by one to every and each one of this. So, the first topic is rounding off to nearest tens. The first step is mark the periods and places. Second one, identify the place to be rounded. Third one, check the number just on the right of the place to be rounded off. If it is 5 or more, the number is rounded off to the next 10. And the last step, that is fourth one, is if it is less than 5, the digit in the tens place does not change and the digit in the ones place become 0. So let's understand this with the help of example. Now here I have taken first example as 42,868. I have to round it off to the nearest 10. Now, if you see at the ones place, the digit written over here is 8. So, 8 is obviously more than 5. Now, how could I round it off? I just round it off it to the next 10. So, the 68 is more nearer to 70 in comparison to that of 60. So, I have rounded off 68 as 70. So, the new number formed is 42,870. In the next example, I have taken the digit as 20,733. Now, if you look at the digit on the last place, it is 3. Since it is less than 5, the digit in this place does not change and the ones place will become 0. So, 33 will become 30 in place of going to 40 because it is more nearer to 30 as comparison to that of 40. So, the next number, that is the number, will become 20,730. So this was easier. Let's talk about rounding off to the nearest 100. The first step is again mark the period and the places. Second, identify the place to be rounded off. Third, check the number formed by the digit on the right of the place to be rounded off. If it is 50 more than number is rounded off to the next 100. However, if it is less than 50, the 100 digit does not change and the digit in the ones and tens place become 0. Let's now look at an example so that the concept will be clearer to you. So, in the first example, I have taken the digit as 8,25,679. Now, since you just look at the tens and ones place, the digit here is 79. That is more than 50. So, what we can do now? We just round it off to the next 100. So, 679 will become 700 because it is more nearer to 700 in comparison to that of 600. Clear? Now, in the second example, I have taken the digit as 6,85,342. If you now look at this example, the last two digits in the tens and ones place is 42, which is less than 50. And according to the rule, when the digits are less than 50, we just round it off as 0. So, 342 will become 300 since it is more nearer to 300 in comparison to that of 400. So, clear to you? Now, let's move on to the rounding off to the nearest thousands. Now again, the rule for thousands will be similar as to that of tens and hundred. In the first step, as usual, mark the periods and places. Secondly, identify the place to be rounded off. Third step will be just to check the number formed by the digits just on the right of the place to be rounded off. If it is 500, I said 500 or more, the number is rounded off to the next thousand. However, if it is less than 500, the thousand digit does not change and the digits in the ones, tens and hundred places will become 0. Yes. Now let us look at an example. In the example number 1, the digit I have taken here is 7,86,736. Now you just mark the period 736 because you have to round off to the nearest thousand. If you look at the 736, it is more than 500. Yes. So the digit 6,736 will become round off to 7,000 in place of 6,000 because it is more nearer to 7,000. Okay. Now let's take another example. In another example, I have taken the digits as 2,35,266. Now let's mark the period. After marking the period, we just found the number 266. Now 266 is less than 500. If it was more, then we just round it off to the next number. Since it is less than 500, we just put the 0 over 100, tens and ones place. So the new round of digit will become 2,35,000 in place of 2,36,000. So I think the concept of rounding off is clear to you, since you have to do a lot of practice to clarify this concept. Otherwise it will not be easier for you. Okay, so just do practice regularly, you will understand the concept easily. Let's now move on to our next topic. The name of our next topic is Roman numerals. I think all of you are aware about the Roman numbers. You have seen these numbers sometimes written on the faces of a clock or at the railway station or bus stands. Where does this number come from? These numbers come from Rome, which is an ancient civilization which uses its own symbol for writing various numbers. The Romans used 7 letters of English alphabet in place of numbers. The letters with their corresponding Hindu-Arabic numerals are given. Now let's read this. In general counting or in Hindu-Arabic counting, we just write it as 1. However, in Roman numerals, the 1 is written as I. Secondly, 5. We just write the 5 as in Hindu-Arabic numeral. However, it is in Roman numerals, it is written as V. Similarly, 10 is written as X, 50 is written as L, 100 is written as C, 500 is written as D, and 1000 is written as M. Okay, so after writing the Roman numerals, we just have to follow the certain rules. The rule number 1 is, when a Roman numeral is repeated one after the other, we add their values to get the number. For example, since 1 plus 1 is 2, we just write 2 as II, or 10 plus 10 is 20, we just write the value as XX. Second rule is, if a letter can be repeated up to maximum of 3 times only, like you just write 1 as I, 2 as II, 3 as III, but you cannot write 4 as 4I. For this, we just have to write it as 5 minus 1, and 4 can be written as IV. The third rule is, the symbols V, L and D are never repeated. Means repetition of letter of V, L, D is not allowed. So we cannot write 10 as VV, we just write it as X. The next rule is, if a smaller Roman number is written to the right side of the greater Roman number, the value of number is the same of the value of symbols. For example, 6 is written as VI, that is 5 plus 1, that is 6. Similarly, 28 is written as XXVIII, it means 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 28. Next rule is, if a smaller Roman symbol is written to the left of a greater Roman symbol, the value of the numeral is the difference of the values of the symbol. For example, for writing the 4, we just write IV. It means V is 5, I means 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Similarly, for 9, we just write it as IX. That is, X means 10 and I means 1. So we just subtract 10 minus 1, that is 9. Means we have to write the number just before and it presents a subtraction and we get our correct answer. Sixth one is, if the symbols are combined, the value of the symbols of the smaller value in the middle of the two symbol of greater value is subtracted from the value of the symbol on its right. For example, if we have to write 14, how can we write? We just write 10, that is X, plus 14. For 14, we just write it as 5 minus 1, that is 4, XIV. Similarly, 29 can be written as XXIX. Okay, so these are the rules of the Roman numerals that you have to follow while carry out the addition, subtraction or writing about the different Roman numerals. However, there are some defects of Roman system of numeration. The first one is that there is no symbol for 0 in the Roman system. Secondly, the Romans use only 7 symbols which are not sufficient to write large numbers. And third one, we have to use many symbols even to write smaller number. For example, 8 is written as VIII and 48 is written as XLVIII. So it will become more trickier to apply Roman numerals in our daily life.
So students, this was all about the large numbers that you have to study in this class. For further understanding, you have to practice a lot. Tomorrow we are going to continue with our next topic. Till then, do the revision thoroughly, keep practicing, work hard. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Bye.